I work the night shift at a small grocery store on the edge of town. It's the kind of place where almost no one comes in after 10 p.m. by midnight. It's just me, the humming lights, and the sound of the soda machine. The boss says I'm lucky to have this job. Easy money, he always says. But some nights don't feel easy. Some nights feel wrong. That night started normal. I clocked in, put on my name tag, and counted the register. I listened to music for a while and ate chips. Behind the counter, the lights buzzed above me, and outside, it was super dark. No stars, no moon. Just black dot. It was quiet. Too quiet. Even for this store around midnight, the lights flickered, beezed. Flick, flick. All for a second, then back on. That happens sometimes, so I didn't freak out. But something about it felt weird. Like the lights weren't broken, like something wanted them to flicker. Then I heard it. Knock. Knock.it was soft but clear. 2 knocks. I looked up fast, my heart jumping a little. Hello? I called out. I peeked toward the front door, thinking maybe someone wanted in. No one was there. The glass doors were closed and locked. The street outside was empty. Only the orange parking lot lights glowing dim. Maybe it was the wind or a bird. I shrugged and sat back down on the stool behind the counter. But then I heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. 3 knocks. This time, from behind me, I turned slowly. There was only one thing behind the counter besides shelves and mop buckets. The old basement door. .it was a dark brown door, dusty and worn. It had scratches on it, like someone or something had tried to claw its way out. We never used it. I remember asking the manager about it once. He said, "Don't worry about that door. Just leave it shut." I laughed, thinking he was joking, but now, standing in front of it, I wasn't laughing. I walked slowly toward it. My fingers shook a little. "Hello," I said again, my voice. Quiet. No answer. No sound. I leaned in and placed my ear against the door. Nothing. Just the hum of the freezer in the next room. I started to back away when the door handle jiggled. I gasped and took 3 steps back. My heart thudded in my chest. Is someone down there? I asked, louder now. Still no answer. I wanted to call the manager, but my phone was charging in the break room. And to be honest, I didn't want to take my eyes off the door. Then slowly, the doorknob turned. It moved all the way, and the door opened just a crack. It made this long, slow creaking sound. I couldn't breathe. I just stood there frozen. I expected something, anything to come out. But nothing did, just cold air. It smelled old and wet, like dirt and mold. I looked down and saw a black space. The basement stairs went down into darkness. I didn't see anyone, but I felt something. It was like the dark was watching me. Like it knew I was there. I thought about running, about calling the police, but I couldn't move. My legs felt heavy like stone. I heard a sound then, a soft one, like breathing, slow, raspy, hisses, coming from the darkness below. I stepped back, my hands shaking. That's when the lights flickered again. Only this time, they didn't come back on. The store went black, and I heard the knock one more time. Knock, knock, right behind me. The store was still dark. I stood in the middle of the floor, holding my breath. The basement door was open behind me, just a few inches. Too dark to see anything below, and then I heard it, a whisper, not loud, not angry. It was soft, almost gentle. Come down. My blood turned cold. No one was supposed to be down there. No one had keys except me and the manager. And the manager never even went near that door. "Hello?" I called out. Silence. The whisper didn't come again. But something moved. A tiny sound. Like someone stepping on an old wooden stair. Creak. I stepped back, still staring at the open door. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't look away either. The air smelled musty, like wet earth and rotting things. I grabbed my flashlight from under the counter. My fingers felt clumsy, like they didn't want to listen to me. I flicked on the light. It blinked a few times before staying on. Then I aimed it at the stairwell. The beam lit the first few stairs dusty and gray. Cobwebs hung down like old lace. Nothing moved. I leaned closer, trying to see more. That's when I saw it, a shadow. On the wall. It didn't match mine. It was too long and hunched. Like someone crawling. It moved fast, sliding along the wall, and vanished deeper into the dark. I gasped and jumped back. "Who's there?" I shouted. Still no answer, but my flashlight flickered, and the light turned red for just a second. That didn't make sense. Flashlights don't just turn red. That was the moment I knew something was wrong down there. Something not normal. Something bad. I slammed the basement door shut. Bang! Then I locked it. Deadbolt, chain, everything. I sat on the floor, breathing fast. My heart was pounding like a drum, but the whisper didn't stop. It was faint, but I could hear it, like it was coming through the cracks in the door. Come down. It's waiting. I covered my ears. No. I said out loud. No way. I'm not going down there. The lights above me flickered again, then came back on. It felt worse when the lights were on, like whatever was in the dark could see me better now. I tried to calm down, tried to tell myself it wasn't real. Maybe I was tired. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. But then I saw something that made my blood run cold. There were fingerprints on the inside of the glass cooler doors, but not like normal prints. They were long, thin, like spider legs. Too many fingers. They trailed across the glass like someone, or something, had been crawling inside. I stepped away. My body was shaking all over. I wanted to leave the store right then, but I couldn't. I needed this job. And part of me, some stupid part, wanted to know what was really going on. I looked back at the basement door. It was still locked, but I heard a sound from behind it. Not a whisper this time, a laugh, a dry, broken laugh. Like someone trying to copy what laughing sounds like, but didn't really know how. I stared at the door for a long time. Then the whisper returned. Closer now. It's not just the basement anymore. I dropped the flashlight. It rolled across the floor and hit a box. The beam pointed toward the mirror behind the candy shelf, and in that mirror, I saw something standing behind me, tall, thin, no face, just black skin stretched too tight, and fingers that almost touched the floor. I turned around fast. Nothing there, but the mirror still showed it. Just standing, watching. I grabbed the flashlight and threw the mirror to the floor. It shattered for a second. Everything went silent. Then all the freezer doors in the store flew open at once. Clang, clang, clang. I screamed and ran behind the counter. I curled up on the floor, holding the flashlight, tight and still. That voice whispered in my ear, "Don't hide. I can see you. You're already mine." I didn't sleep the next day. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that thing from the mirror. That long, tall figure with no face, just standing there, watching me. I stayed under my blankets with the lights on, but the whisper was still in my head. Don't hide. By the time the sun came up, I had made a decision. I had to talk to the manager. He worked mornings before my shift. His name is Mr. Harris. He's old, quiet, and always looks tired. Like someone who's seen too much, I waited outside the store for him. When he pulled up, I ran to him. "Mr. Harris," I said, "something's wrong. The basement door, something's down there." He didn't act surprised. He just sighed. Then he looked at me with serious eyes. "You heard the whisper, didn't you?" My stomach dropped. "Yes," I said. He unlocked the store and waved me in. We didn't speak as he led me to the back office. He opened a small closet and pulled out a box. It was dusty, covered in spiderwebs. Inside were old security tapes. They were labeled with names and dates. Some had little notes like, "Don't rewind," or "Basement door opened again." He pulled out one tape. It had a yellow sticker. Written on it in black marker were the words, "Don't watch alone." He handed it to me. I didn't believe it at first either, he said. Until I watched this, I wanted to ask questions, but my throat felt tight. Like something didn't want me to speak. We set up an old TV in the back. He put the tape in. It buzzed for a moment, then began. The video was black and white. It showed the front of the store, late at night. The timestamp in the corner said, 12:02 a.m. I saw a girl behind the counter. She looked young, maybe 19. She wore the same uniform I did. She was reading a book. Then, just like my night, the lights flickered. She stood up and looked around. Then the camera showed her walking to the basement door. She stopped. She put her ear to it, and then she smiled. But it wasn't a happy smile. It looked forced, like her mouth was moving, but the rest of her face didn't want to. She opened the door slowly and stepped inside. We waited. The screen showed the door wide open. Nothing happened. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. She didn't come back. Then, at 12:11 a.m., something strange happened. The camera moved just a little, like someone or something had pushed it. Mr. Harris paused the tape. "You see it?" he asked. I nodded. My hands were sweaty. "She never came back," he said quietly. "Her name was Emma. She worked here 2 years ago." My mouth was dry. "What did the police say?" He shook his head. "They never found her. No one believed me. Not even her parents." He took a deep breath and turned to me. "I've heard the whispers too. A long time ago." I ran. I got out. But I kept the tapes. I stared at the screen. It was frozen on the open basement door. I didn't want to ask, but I did. "Has anyone else gone down there?" He nodded to others. One came back, but wasn't the same. My skin prickled. "What do you mean?" He looked me in the eye. He didn't talk after that. Just sat in his room, drawing pictures of something. He opened a drawer and pulled out a paper dot. It was a drawing done in pencil. Messy. Rushed. It showed a tall, black shape with long arms and no face. The same thing I had seen in the mirror. "He quit the next day," Mr. Harris said. "Left town. Never heard from him again." I couldn't breathe. It was like the room was getting smaller. "Why didn't you close the store?" I asked. He looked away. "Because something told me not to." That's when I realized he was afraid too, even now. Even in daylight, I left the office with the tape still playing in my head. The girl's face, her smile, the slow way she walked down into the dark. That night, I went back to work. I told myself I'd be brave, but I couldn't stop thinking about the video. or the whisper, or the thing in the mirror. And when I walked into the store at 11:57 p.m., the basement door was already open. The basement door was open again, wide this time. Not a crack, not halfway, wide open, and I swear, it was darker than before. Like the shadows were thicker, heavier. Like the darkness inside wasn't just lack of light, it was alive. I stopped walking. I didn't even take one step in. I stood at the entrance of the store, holding my backpack and shaking. It was 11:57 p.m. My shift started in 3 minutes. I should have called in sick. I should have turned around and gone home. But my legs moved. On their own. Like something wanted me inside, I stepped in. The door closed behind me with a quiet click, and the whisper came back. It's not just the basement anymore. I dropped my bag on the counter and turned on every light I could. Bright lights above. Extra lamp in the corner. Even the little flashlight from the break room. The light made me feel safer. But not for long, because the mirrors started acting. Weird. The store has small mirrors above some of the shelves. They're meant to help see customers when you're behind the counter. Nothing fancy. Just old, dusty mirrors. But tonight, they didn't show the shelves. They showed me. All of them, even when I wasn't in front of them. Even when I turned away. I walked past one, and my reflection was already waiting for me. Looking at me before. I got there. .it wasn't copying me either. I blinked, it didn't. I waved, it stood still. I stepped forward and looked closer. My reflection smiled, a slow, stretched smile. Way too wide, and then it waved. I backed away so fast, I hit a candy rack. Everything. Crashed to the floor. Snickers. Gum. Mints. All over the tile. I looked around, breathing hard. But there was no one else in the store. Just me. And the mirrors, and the smile. I picked up my flashlight and walked over to the freezer section. I don't even know why. I just felt like I had to. There's a long glass door there, like a window. To frozen pizzas and ice cream, but I didn't see pizza. I saw my reflection again. Only. This time, it wasn't just smiling. .it was talking. Its mouth was moving. Fast. But I couldn't hear it. I leaned in, and suddenly I could, but not with my ears. It was like the sound went straight into my brain. You're not real anymore. This is our place now. You don't belong. I screamed and turned around, nothing behind me. But when I looked back at the glass, my reflection was gone. Just empty freezer shelves. I wanted to cry. My hands were shaking. My heart hurt from beating. Too fast. Then, all the freezer doors opened by themselves. Clunk. 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 They flew open hard, like someone kicked them. Cold air blasted out, covering the floor in white fog, and in the fog, I saw footprints, not shoe prints, bare feet. Small, thin, walking. Toward me, then another set. Bigger, heavier, dragging. Like someone was pulling a leg, I stumbled backward. I tripped on a can of soup and fell. My head hit the tile hard. Everything went fuzzy. I blinked. Once. Twice. Then I saw them, standing in the fog. 2 figures. One was the girl from the tape. Emma. I knew it was her. Same face. Same uniform. But her. Eyes were gone. Just black holes. And beside her, the tall thing, the one from the mirror. .it had no face. No eyes. No mouth. Just a stretched shadow for a body, and it was getting closer. I tried to crawl away, but my legs didn't move fast enough. Emma knelt beside me. Her mouth opened, and from deep inside her, the whisper came. It chose you. Suddenly, all the lights shut off. The whole store went dark, and I felt something cold wrap around my ankle. I screamed so loud my throat hurt. Then everything stopped when I opened my eyes again. It was morning. I was lying behind the counter. The sun was coming through the windows. The store looked normal. And open freezers. No fog. No broken mirrors, but on the floor beside me, there was a wet footprint, and the smile was still in the mirror. I didn't want to come back after what I saw, the footprints, the mirrors, her face. I told myself I was done. I quit, but that night, my phone buzzed. It was a message from a number I didn't know. Just 3 words. You forgot something. Attached was a photo. It showed my flashlight, the one I always kept in my backpack, lying at the bottom of the basement stairs. I stared at the photo for a long time. Then I noticed something else in it. A hand, not mine, long fingers, gray skin, gripping the edge of the bottom stair. I dropped my phone. I should have thrown it away, blocked the number, burned the store down, but I didn't, because I had forgotten something. I left my notebook in the break room. It had all my notes, drawings, even my pay stubs. If I was going to walk away from this job, I wanted that book. So I told myself I'd go back. Just once. Just for 5 minutes. Grab the notebook. Get out. Never return. The parking lot was empty when I arrived. Even the streetlights seemed dimmer than usual. I walked to the front door. It was unlocked. That wasn't right. Only the manager had keys besides me, and he'd never leave the door open at night. I pushed it open slowly. The store was quiet. Too quiet. No humming lights. No buzzing freezer. Just silence, and that smell again. Like mold and old water. And something dead. I stepped inside and whispered, "Just get the notebook," but the air felt heavy, like walking through syrup. I moved past the counter, toward the break room. That's when I heard it. Karirk. Karirk, the sound of someone crawling. Not walking, crawling. I turned my flashlight on. The beam shook in my hand. The sound was coming from the cereal aisle. I crept closer, my heart hammering. Each breath felt like it took effort. I reached the end of the aisle and saw nothing, just spilled Cheerios and dust, but the sound moved behind me now. I spun around, still nothing, but then I heard whispering low, crackling, like a broken radio. Words I couldn't understand, like another language. I ran to the break room, grabbed my notebook, and turned to leave, and the basement door was open again, wider than ever, almost inviting, and on the top step was my flashlight, the same one from the photo. But I had this flashlight in my hand. So what was that one? I should have run, but my feet walked forward. Step by step, I stood at the edge of the stairwell, both flashlights now buzzing in my hands. I aimed one down. The light stopped at the bottom step. The basement wasn't like I remembered it. There was a new hole in the floor. A round one. Black as night. It looked like a tunnel had been dug, like something had clawed its way out, and from inside that tunnel, something moved. It was slow, wet. I heard breath, heavy and thick, like a dog growling underwater. Then I saw it, a hand, pale, too many fingers, all jointed the wrong way. It gripped the edge of the tunnel, then another hand. Then eyes, except not really. They were like mirrors, shiny and black, but somehow I saw myself in them only. It wasn't me. It was me smiling again, the way I saw in the mirror, too wide, too still. I turned to run, but the basement door slammed shut above me. Total darkness. My flashlight died. I screamed. I pounded on the door. Nothing. Then I heard something behind me crawl up the stairs. Fast. I turned just in time to see a shadow move. Then nothing. I Woke up hours later on the floor. The door was open again. The sun was coming up, and I had dirt on my hands. I don't know how I got out. I don't remember leaving, but inside my notebook was a new page I didn't write. It said, "We're not finished yet." After that night in the basement, I didn't go back. I didn't call the store. I didn't tell anyone what happened. I just stayed in my room with the curtains closed and my lights on. Every sound made me jump. Every shadow made me freeze. I couldn't eat. I barely slept. And when I did fall asleep, I dreamed of the tunnel, the crawling sound, the breath on my neck, the mirrors for eyes, and always her, Emma. She never spoke in my dreams. She just stared. Eyes black, skin pale, name tag on her shirt, and always smiling. I thought maybe I was going crazy, but then something happened. I woke up one morning and saw dirt on my floor. Not a lot, just a few smudges, but fresh, damp, like someone had walked in from a grave. I followed the trail to my desk, and that's when I saw it, sitting on top of my closed notebook, a name tag, not mine, not the plastic one from the store. This one was old. Metal. Scratched. The letters were faded, but I could still read it. Emma. I dropped it like it was on fire. My hands were shaking. My breath got stuck in my throat. I backed away, heart racing, and then I noticed something on the back, carved in jagged letters, like it was scratched in with a nail. Still here. Help me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But where could I go? Whatever this was. It followed me. It didn't need the store anymore. It was with me. The lights flickered in my room. The mirror across from my bed lit up. But the reflection wasn't mine. It was her. Emma. She was standing in my room in the reflection, but when I turned around, no one was there, yet in the mirror. She smiled, and behind her, it was coming, that thing, long arms, no face, crawling up the wall like a spider. My lamp shattered. My bed shook. My notebook flipped open on its own. The pages turned faster, like they were caught in a storm. Then they stopped, and a new page had appeared, written in thick black ink. You opened the door. Now you can't close it. I grabbed the name tag and ran. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to go. I ended up at the store. The lights were off. No cars in the lot. No manager, but the front door was open. Again, the air smelled like the basement now. Even outside, I walked inside, slow. Each step felt like it was pulling me down. I made my way to the basement door. It was closed this time, but not locked. I reached out, my hand shaking, and opened it. The stairs were the same. Dusty, cold. The tunnel below looked bigger now, wider, like it was waiting for something. I stepped down one stair, then two. The whisper returned, almost done. I held the name tag tight. Emma, I whispered. I'm here. Tell me what to do. A breeze hit me from the tunnel, cold and wet. Then a voice, clear this time. A girl's voice. Give it back. I looked down at the tag. It was glowing faintly. I dropped it into the tunnel. For a second, nothing happened. Then, everything changed. The lights turned red. The ground shook. The stairs behind me vanished. I wasn't in the basement anymore. I was inside the tunnel, and I wasn't alone. Emma stood beside me. Her eyes were back. She looked normal, sad but peaceful. She reached out and touched my hand. Thank you, she whispered. Then she faded away. The monster came next, but it didn't attack. It stood there, towering over me, and then it backed away. It sank into the wall, into the dirt, gone. Suddenly, I was back at the store, behind the counter. Lights buzzing.it was morning. My hands were clean. The notebook was gone, and so was the name tag. I thought maybe it was all over, but when I got home, there was a package at my door. .no name. No address, just a note inside. The next one is yours, and under the note, a brand new name tag. .it said, my name.